Hello and welcome from Amsterdam. Well, as you might know from our previous videos, we are a little bit like Hilton. If we do something, then we make it right. In the case of the Waldorf Astoria Amsterdam, we booked the whole package. Pick up at the airport Amsterdam's Schiphol with the Maybach, afternoon tea, and dinner in the 2-star Michelin restaurant. What else? The Waldorf Astoria Amsterdam extends over 6 historic buildings from the 17th and 18th century along the Herengracht, one of the 3 major canals in Amsterdam and nowadays a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Although not part of the package, we started the afternoon tea with a glass of Henry or Rosé champagne, which was followed by a starter served with a green tea with lavender and rose flavor. The slogan of the 2020 menu is "In touch with the Dutch" and consists of items which are connected to the Netherlands. A mussel with garlic cream, a sandwich with lamb ham, a windmill with dried sausage, a bun with herring, and a non-seafood alternative for me on the separate plate, and Clara the cow, a cheese sandwich with apple syrup for the savory side. The sweet part, served with a black tea with bergamot, consists of a bowl, a tompoes, a stroopwafel, a medal with butterscotch, and finally balloon cupcakes. All the delicacies are accompanied by live piano music, and those who still haven't eaten enough will be satisfied after the scones at the latest. This was actually a problem for us when 2 hours later we had dinner at the Spectrum, the 2-star Michelin restaurant. But first to the room now. We received a great upgrade to a King Grand Premier room on the 2nd floor, directly next to the main entrance with a great view onto the canal. This is not standard in this room category. There is another room category having the canal view in the name, and I guess that besides the guaranteed canal view, those rooms also have a larger size. This very room in the 17th century building, as one of 93 rooms and suites in this hotel, is rather small but very elegantly decorated. We have seen and read many reviews of this hotel, and people were stating that the room price is quite high. It definitely is, no question. However, nothing is left to chance here and everything strives for perfection. Taking into consideration the Pareto principle, you get 80% of the result with 20% of the effort. If you want the final 20% of the result, you need 80% of the effort. In other words, for around about €100 you get a very good hotel with many amenities. Okay. However, if you don't want to simply sleep somewhere but seek for an experience, if you are like Winston Churchill and are easily satisfied with the very best, if your expectations are going to be no different than the Borg Queen herself, perfection, then here you are, and an entry price of €500 and upwards seems fair for this experience. But what makes this hotel such a place of perfection? It is the details. You can look for dust, stains, impurities, chipped corners, cracks in the ceramic, and everything else what comes into your mind and would diminish the experience. You won't find any. The room was in a condition as if it was renovated the day before. Even nature seeks for perfection while you are here, and it created one of the most beautiful rainbows I have seen. Okay, this was a little bit too much, I guess. Anyway, it is not only the condition of the room and the building, it simply is everything. The staff was super nice and friendly and absolutely not stiff and arrogant. On the contrary, we had many nice and funny chats with the employees simply everywhere. At the afternoon tea, at the front desk, at the dinner, in the garden, in the corridors, and everywhere else. It is a place of joy and well-being, and you had the feeling that everybody loved to be there, clients and employees. Particularly the service at the dinner in the Spectrum restaurant was the next highlight, and I really mean it. It was no dinner, it was an adventure. It was no service, it was an orchestra. One had his waiter who took care of orders and recommendations. In addition, a sommelier who was responsible for the wine selection, and also a changing team of 2 employees who synchronously brought and synchronously cleared new food for both persons. Any military would be jealous of this synchronized step, but it did not feel like the military, it was absolutely pleasant. And absolutely exclusive. The restaurant had only 10 tables occupied only once per night and handled by a team of round about 20 people inside and outside the kitchen. It was a masterpiece and we'll see some images of the food later on. But back to the room for one moment. The bathroom has some parallels to other Waldorfs we have seen so far. TV close to the bathtub. Salvatore Ferragamo is the supplier of the amenities. Marble decoration everywhere. And bathrobes with the Waldorf logo. One more highlight here. The one for men is slightly longer. But let's come to the rest of the building. The entrance area has some impressive decoration in the staircase. It's clearly an absolutely elegant property with original features such as the statue as part of the wall and stucco on the ceiling, which is typical for houses in this area. If you go further, you'll find a very special room for private dining, which has museum character, directly next to the Peacock Alley bar and the piano area. The high-class restaurant Spectrum is located one level below. Before entering the restaurant, you are first in a spacious lobby area with direct access to the largest private canal garden in Amsterdam. This hotel, which opened in 2014, is a real highlight in every dimension. On sunny days you can sit outside, enjoy a drink and watch the very beautifully tended garden. Moreover, besides flowers, you will also find statues, fountains, a pavilion and, as one more highlight, on the roof of the Spectrum restaurant you find 6 small houses representing the 6 buildings of the hotel, and inside there are honeycombs for the hotel's own honey production. The dinner I won't comment too much. As I said before, not only the food itself was very special, but also the whole atmosphere was unforgettable. Since I love desserts, the chocolate at the end was really amazing. The ingredients of the chocolates were the vegan components of some meals on the menu. You received an additional marking sheet for your menu so that you could connect the color of the chocolates to the meal on the menu. An amazing idea where one could recall the many taste impressions once more. Last but definitely not least, the breakfast. The breakfast was served in room and you had to choose the time of delivery. We asked for 11 AM. While I was taking a shower, I was asking myself what time window I would expect such a hotel to meet, and I came up with ±5 minutes. I don't really have to say that breakfast arrived perfectly in the time window at 10:56, and of course the hot meals were still hot and the bread was also fresh and warm. What else can you expect? So let's come to the conclusion then. For the Waldorf Astoria Amsterdam, we award 5 out of 5 diamonds. There is nothing to add here. If you enjoyed our video, please subscribe. See you out there. You're Alex from GajaDreams.